Today's segment has to do with the illusion that is very common in the United States and many parts of the world, that the United States is the richest country in the world. And that may be true in terms of the gross domestic product, only as measured in US dollars and ignoring what other countries do. A more accurate measure is called real GDP, which is measured in terms of purchasing power parity. Purchasing power parity is the GDP measured according to the local conditions. And in that case, China is number one, US is number two. This is a 2021 statistic from the CIA World Factbook. If we look back in 2016, when Donald Trump first became president, the US real GDP was third in the world. Second was the European Union before Brexit. And of course, we know the United States government and its services did everything they could to provoke Brexit. When Donald Trump became the president of the United States the first time, the real GDP figures in the CIA World Factbook stopped being updated. He stopped them. He wanted to keep the illusion, because that man does not look forward and does not consider what is the right policy in terms of other countries, but how to go back again to the 19th century, to the second part of the 20th century, when the United States was the hegemon and the richest country in the world. But that's not going to happen. So let's look at what we have here. The figure I showed you before is from geographic.org. There you can look at actual information, real information. China is not in any way second to the United or third in terms of its economy. In fact, if you look at more recent statistics, this here is the nominal GDP of China measured in US currency, and this is the real GDP, which is measured using the purchasing power parity. It is how many trillion dollars? Oh, $10 trillion bigger in US dollar terms than the American economy. And that's not all. If you look at the technological advancement of China in the last decades, it has exceeded in almost every respect the technological advancement of the United States. And it is in the right direction. For example, they take into account air pollution, they take into account climate change. They have installed in 1 year more solar energy than the rest of the world combined. They have produced more electrical vehicles than the former champion Tesla. If you look at what Huawei has done, Huawei is forbidden in the United States, and I suspect it's not because so much that the American government feels that the Chinese will spy on them. They spy on them. They don't need Huawei to spy on them. They can spy on them from any of a zillion types of electronic devices that are made in China and sold in the United States. But if you look at Huawei, who they try to eliminate, it is the most successful technology company in China. They make products that are unbelievable. It's not just that. The Chinese people don't look backwards. They don't want to be great again. They want to be greater than they are now. They want their people to be better off. The economic advancement of the Chinese people is phenomenal. Hundreds of millions of people who were formerly in dire poverty have reached middle class. And the middle class in China is the population of the middle class only, not the rest of them, is larger than the entire population of the United States. These people are with money. They don't buy, they buy electric cars, they buy beautiful apartments, they buy yachts, etc. I don't want to labor this point much more. In another segment, we will discuss other things and compare the United States with China. I am Photios Koutsoukis, and you will find me in social media now that I started, so you can learn the facts about economics and geopolitics. Thank you.